lost. It might just be because I'm trying to find stuff on the Google screen. So that's what's going on. So I'm going to try and watch the chat and make sure that I am responding to any questions. Feel free to put your questions in there. Jeff, you may have to just help me with that. I don't want to miss anything. And yeah, so let's just dive right in. So this, I want to just make sure we're all on the same page here. So if you resonate with any of these questions, just give me a yes or a thumbs up in the chat. I don't know if you can do emoji things in here, but anyway, so has anyone ever in this room ever wished that bringing in new business was easier? I have. Anyone here ever feel like you're working? Oh, there's a thumbs up. Thank you. That you're working so hard for every client that you get, and maybe other people that you see building their business seems like it's easier for them. Anybody feel like that? Me, I have entrepreneurs in my family, so I always am comparing myself to them. And it seems like what they're doing is so much easier, right? Or maybe do you ever feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and just waiting for something to stick when it comes to marketing? Like, or do you wish there's that one magic marketing thing that would just drop in your lap and would just open up the floodgates of business, right? Yes, Jane says yes. Mary, yes. Okay. Well, I'm in the right room then, because I have felt all of these things in my own journey building my business. But just a little bit about me. I'm a native Coloradoan. I know we have a lot of people here from Colorado, and I know the natives like I am are rare, but here's one in living color. But I'm a farm girl from Wellington, Colorado. And if you know Wellington, it's far, far north, almost to the Wyoming border. I grew up on a farm. I did not grow up learning how to run a business. Yes, I did get an MBA, but lots of what I learned, I did not learn in academia, and it didn't really prepare me for being a business owner, honestly. And so I like to say that I got my MBA from the School of Hard Knocks. Anybody else? Can anybody else relate to that? Yes. Okay. Just moving my windows around here. Yes. Lisa says yes. So anyone else go to that school? Yes, we've all been to the School of Hard Knocks, right? But 2 years after I graduated from Hofstra University in New York, 9/11 in New York, there was in New York, and I was in New York. Let's see. 2 years after I graduated from Hofstra, I lived through 9/11 in New York. And what struck me going through that experience was that all my colleagues and classmates and friends and neighbors that perished that day, all they did is they went to work. And it prompted me to ask a question of myself, like, if I go to work and I don't come home tomorrow, is this how I want my life to end? And the answer at that time was no. So I decided I needed to make some changes. And since I got to live, I decided then that my life would be a living tribute to all of them that didn't make it past that day, and that I wanted to make it possible to have a fulfilling life, a life I was proud of, and also have an amazing business. And so that's what I've been spending the last 20 years doing. Long story short, I came back to Colorado after that. I met my husband. I moved to the Vail Valley. So shout out to my Summit County friends and my friend over here in Snowmass. I founded my business. I grew a family and a life and a business that I'm proud of, based on the idea of simplicity and having a simple business. And so that's what I teach my clients. And a simple business that's profitable and makes money too, right? And so what I've learned over the last 20 years of being an entrepreneur is what I'm going to teach you today. And here's kind of a central thought that I want you to just keep in the back of your mind as we're talking today. That everything you need right now to create the business and the income and the impact that you want, you already have. You already have. You don't need to go out and learn a whole bunch of new technology. You don't need to go buy new software. You already have everything you need to take your business to the next step that you want to take right now. And so I'm going to show you today how that could be true. And so just think about that for yourselves, right? Okay, so that's a little bit about me. So who has big goals for 2024? I mean, I know for a lot of businesses, 2023 was a kind of a rough year. And so a lot of us now have big goals for 2024 because we're like, last year kind of stank. So, so who has big goals for 2024? Give me a thumbs up. What I want to teach you today can help you create huge progress towards creating your goals. Yes, Jeff says yes, and Rob. So I want to just ask you to take a minute, and Kathy says yes. And just really acknowledge how far you've come in your business last year, this year, towards your goal, and make a note also, and think about your plan for the rest of the year. Like, do you have a good solid goal, a goal line, where you're headed? And do you know how many clients, how many deals, how many of whatever, however you think about your business, how much you need in order to get to your goal? And then today I want to show you how it can be possible for you with some small minor changes, simple changes to your business. Okay. So I also want you to think, what will you be thinking on December 31st as you're toasting with your loved ones, bringing in the new year, 2025, right? And just think about what it's going to be like when you get to that point and you've achieved your goal for this year, right? And just invite you to recommit today to whatever that goal is, and implementing and changing and evaluating as you go. Because what I'm going to teach you today will help you reach your goal. And it all starts now. So all starts with the simple stuff. I want you to think about simple stuff that compounds to create big results. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So today is a workshop. If you got the workbook, I'm going to just put the link in the chat again. You don't have to have this workbook, but it's always kind of fun. And you can fill it out after if you want. You don't have to fill it out now. And what I want you to consider today is that much of what we're going to talk about today may not be revolutionary to you, but I want to just offer that it's in the little things that, if you're attending to them consistently, make a big difference. And so I see this all the time in my clients, right? Like, we just make some small tweaks to what they're consistently doing, and it changes everything in their business. Okay. So today, yeah, I'm going to go over with you today the 5 overlooked revenue boosters that are right in front of you. So mistake number 1, one of the most common issues I see with a lot of businesses that I work with, that I see that can stunt your growth, is that you're not bringing in enough new connections consistently into your network. New connections is like fuel for your business, right? It's like you can't drive your car without gas. Well, unless you have a Tesla or an electric car, but whatever kind of fuel your car uses, it always needs fuel, right? So how this shows up in our business is that if you feel like you experience a lot of feast and famine cycles, where your business is like going great and then it's not going great, and then it's going great and it's not, and so you're on this emotional roller coaster like all the time in your business. So that's how it shows up. Or maybe you have a lot of very loyal, engaged clients, but you feel like your sales has kind of hit a ceiling, right? And so if either of those are the case, this might be something to attend to, is to make sure you're always adding new connections into your network. And so what does this look like? If this looks like consistently meeting and bringing in new people and into your audience, whether if you're on social media, bringing in people to your social media audience, and then bringing them onto your email list and nurturing those relationships. We're going to talk a lot more about this, but I want you to just think about how are you bringing new people into your network. So in order to grow your business at any level, so we're never done with this, right? I've been in business 20 years and I'm still reminding myself, I got to continue doing outreach, getting out there, showing up, and bringing new people into my network. And so in order to grow your business at all levels, you'll always need to be bringing in new people. So some ideas, and you may already be practicing these. I always encourage my clients to be doing probably 3 of these things. We'll talk more about a balanced marketing plan in a little bit, but for this part of our marketing plan, we always want to be practicing 3 of these things, whether it's networking in person or online or both. Maybe you have a freebie or a lead magnet that you can offer to people when you meet them, and that will get them on your email list. Or make sure you're using hashtags on social media. That's a great way to get your content in front of new people. Or short form videos like Reels or YouTube Shorts or TikTok. All great ways to get your content in front of new people and get your name, your business in front of new people. Having free online workshops. If you love teaching and training, it's a great opportunity to just create an online workshop kind of like this. And it's a great way to meet new people. Podcast guesting. If you are open to speaking publicly or speaking engagements, there's always podcasts that are looking for guests. So that is a wonderful opportunity to get yourself in front of other people's audiences. Excuse me, and meet new people. And then collaborations. If there are industry folks that would be good referral partners for you, or even if it's folks that are not in your industry that maybe do something different but would be a great collaboration. Anytime you can get yourself in front of other people's audiences, that's a great opportunity to meet new people. So it's all about knowing your ideal client and where they hang out, and then connecting with them all the time. Right? Thinking about connecting with them all the time. So just think about what are some of the ways that you meet new people. And it doesn't even have to be business ways. I mean, we can think about, I've met new connections at the grocery store or at my kids', sporting events, or, if you are an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur everywhere you go. So I always say, think about that. And then think about that the money is in the list, right? I know we're talking about digital marketing today, but I always encourage people to think about building an email list and bringing that relationship off of social media, because, algorithms change. We all probably know people that have been banned from a social media platform, and with it go all their followers, or hacked, or things like that. So it's always great to think about attracting folks to your email list. And I see this as a huge missed opportunity. You may have thousands of people following you and connecting with you on social media, but the statistics, and I study all this stuff, still show that people make purchases from emails. They prefer hearing from brands that they follow on email. And so, I just encourage you to connect online, give them value, and then invite them onto your email list, right? And build that relationship. Okay. So if you have, and you can do this on your own notebook or in the workbook, but I want to ask you to just rate yourself from 1 to 10 of how well you're doing bringing new people on into your network, onto your email list, however you connect with people. So 1 is I'm not doing it at all, or 10, I'm creating plenty of new connections and plenty of new clients, right? So where are you rating? Does anybody want to put it in the chat? Most people are like, yeah, 5, right middle of the road. So think about, how are you currently adding people to your network? I encourage, I do a lot of one-on-one, networking and things, but then also if you want to kind of do the, 200 level type networking, think about how you can be networking one to many, right? Like going to one event and meeting everybody in the room instead of a couple people, right? And that's doing speaking engagements or free online workshops, or doing lives inside of Facebook groups, things like that. So next, I want you to think about setting a goal for how many new people you want to be bringing into your network. So for example, if you have, if your revenue, the money you're bringing into your business is not what you want it to be, and first, for a lot of us, it's just starting to track this number. Like, how many new people am I bringing in? Start tracking that, whether it's on social media. I track social media. I'll track the growth of my email list. I track the number of new people that I put into my CRM system, because I know that bringing new people in is the fuel for my business, right? So track it and then set a goal of how many people you want, and whatever you focus on, you will create. So if you want to be bringing in more people, focus on it and you will create it. Okay, so maybe just jot down, if you have a moment, or take a moment, just jot down one thing that you might like to try or add or optimize with bringing new people into your network, right? Because I want you to walk away with at least 5 things from this presentation, from this workshop, that you can go and start doing right away that's going to be bringing in more money into your business. So just make a quick note of something you might want to try. Okay, so mistake number 2 is I see a lot of people hoarding new contacts. Like, they're bringing in lots of new contacts, but they're not growing relationships. And what we know about modern consumer behavior and modern marketing is that people buy from people they like. That's actually not different and new, but people want to have relationships with the companies, the brands, and the people that they buy from. So we as entrepreneurs, our challenge is to be better at creating relationships, creating community. And so, so I see this as something that a lot of entrepreneurs are missing out on. They may have a big following on social media or big email list, but they're not building relationships with those people. So you can actually have an extremely successful business without a huge list, without a lot of followers, if you're building strong relationships with these folks, right? So often what this might feel like is if you, feel like you're bringing in a lot of new people and, there's not any transactions, or they're not moving towards buying from you, right? So if that's what's happening in your business, it may be because you are hoarding, bringing on all these new contacts, but not really creating the relationship. So we're going to talk about how we do that. So, so this is your opportunity, is to give attention to the relationships that are already around you. Because I believe this 100%. I've seen it so often in my own business and with my clients. But think about this. What if all the clients that you have the capacity to serve right now are already in your network? They're already around you. They're in your social media audience. They're on your email list. They are in your community. They are on the street that you live on. They are parents of the kids that your kids go to school with, right? What if all the clients you want are already around you? And I love thinking about this, because then our goal is to really nurture those relationships and allow people to get to know us and learn to trust us. And then they're going to want to work with us, right? So if all you're doing on social media is posting and ghosting, or if all you're doing in your email list is just sell, 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 and not having conversations, it's not going to work long-term to build your business, right? So the goal is building relationships. And just think about the 3-year buying cycle. And this is something that I teach on in marketing, that we know about marketing, is that what you're doing now is what's going to have your clients coming out of the woodwork in 3 years, right? So a lot of us get very transactional. We're like, well, I'm going to do this and then someone needs to buy from me. But what if it's going to take them 3 years to come around to liking you and trusting you enough to buy from you, right? So don't stop all the marketing efforts just because you're not seeing all the return right now. You are banking all of that value, and then the clients will come around. So, so think about all those relationships. So some examples of this might be an email newsletter is a great way to nurture relationships. Showing up in Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups and getting involved and offering value, not just selling, but just being a normal human and going and building relationships as a human with other humans in there, right? And or having a YouTube channel where you're consistently showing up and posting videos and having conversations, or a podcast. I have a podcast, and that's a great way for me to continue outreach and touching and building relationships with my audience. Virtual coffee chats. Like if you do any networking, whether it's online or in person, you can always, reach out to people and say, I'd love to get to know you better and your business and how I can support you. Let's have a virtual coffee chat. And even if they're not like someone that might directly buy from you, they might be someone that could introduce you to a whole bunch of clients, right? So, and I always say, take a half an hour, 30 minutes, or 30 minutes to an hour and a half each day to be engaging and having conversations on social media. I like to think of social media as just like a big room, a huge networking event, right? Where I can just walk in at any time of day or night. There's always people there, and I can go in and just chat with people, right? Talk to people. And what that looks like for me is just even going through my feed on Facebook and just commenting on what my friends are posting and what they're doing, and posting my own things, and going into some groups that I'm part of on Facebook and interacting with people, answering questions, just being there to build relationships. And that really works to build your business and keep the business coming in. Okay, so here we again, I want you to just rate yourself regarding optimizing and building relationships with those folks that are already around you. Number 1 is I'm not doing it all. I'm not doing it at all the way up to 10. I'm creating plenty of opportunities from my network, right? People are referring me all the time. People are, calling me that have been in my network forever. So, rate yourself on 1 to 10 and think about how you're nurturing relationships, whether it's one-on-one or one-to-many. And again, set a goal for yourself. If you're not creating a lot of opportunities from people that are already in your network, let's set a goal about what kind of activities, how many activities do you want to be doing? Do this myself. I have a goal for, I release 1 podcast episode. I write 2 emails. I am posting on social media at least 5 times a week to my audience, right? Oh, Kamala is a 6. Awesome. Jennifer says 5. Yep. And then set a goal for yourself. How much, and just make small changes. Allow yourself to have small wins, and then you can add more things, right? I did not have a podcast on day 1. I was in business, gosh, I don't know, 12 years before I started a podcast, right? So depending on where you are in your business, pick small wins, achieve those, and then you can always add more things. Okay, so what's one thing you might want to try? Think about that. Okay, so mistake number 3 is making passive or too few offers. So I see this when we get out there and we create lots of value, but we often fail to make a strong invitation to work with us, right? We don't tell people how to work with us, or we only do it once in a while. There's some of this BS out there, like, oh, you should only be making offers 20% of the time, 80-20 and all that. Well, I don't agree with any of that. And I'm going to show you why. So our opportunity number 3 is to make more and more active offers. So what I see is we're out doing all the things, providing lots of value, and not letting people know how to go to the next step with us. So we do this oftentimes because we think they don't want what we have to offer, or we're bothering them, right? And they may not want what we have to offer right there at that moment, but for the one person that does, right, which is who we're showing up for anyway, our one perfect client, then we need to let them know how they can take the next step with us, right? So our goal is to know what is the next best step and always offer it. I say make offers 100% of the time, but there's different kinds of offers, right? So think about what is the next best step in the relationship. So it's kind of like dating. Now, I've been married for a long time. I haven't dated in a long time, but I can imagine it. I did date once in a while, or once upon a time, right? But so it's like dating, right? When you meet someone that you like and you want to get to know them better, maybe you schedule a coffee date, right? Let's go out for coffee. You know, it's kind of low commitment and easy to do, right? And so you go out for coffee and you like each other, have a great conversation, and you're like, oh, we should definitely get together again. All right, let's make plans. And so then maybe you plan to go out to lunch or plan to go out for an activity, right? And so there's little steps all along the way to getting to know somebody and deciding if you want to continue the relationship with them. But if if you're at coffee and they're like, you go from there to they're suggesting you go away for a ski weekend in Vail and share a condo together, like for me, that would be way too fast, right? And so we often do the same thing in our marketing, where we're trying to move people along so fast to get them to buy, that we forget about the client journey, and that building a relationship with any human, whether it's romantic or in business, takes time, and it takes attention, and it takes taking little steps. So that's what I'm seeing so much now in modern consumer behavior with buyers is that, and even with myself, like I want to get to know somebody before I buy anything from them, right? And so first you have to know what your client most wants, right? And what is the result or the experience that they're seeking, and how, even from all along the client journey, know what they want, know what's the experience that they want, how they want to experience connecting with you, and how you can get them there. And this takes creating a client journey, right? This is something that I do with all my clients. And really, it's thinking about what is the next step in the relationship, what feels good to me and what feels good to them, right? Like we kind of have a good sense. We have some internal knowing, like we can't go from meeting someone for the first time all the way to having them buy from us. Sometimes it happens, but it's very rare. So always be offering. So that's what I say, like 100% of the time, be making offers. And there's a lot of different kinds of offers that you can make. So free offer would be like a lead magnet, whether it's a quiz or a checklist or a free ebook or a free consultation. There's a lot of free offers that we can offer to bring people into relationship with us, right? To start that relationship. And then there's tiny offers, maybe a low cost thing. And, all of our businesses are a little bit different. So I'm happy to troubleshoot with you and answer some questions on how it might apply to your business. But, there's tiny offers, whether maybe a low cost offer. And then you have your main offer, like the main thing that people pay you for. And so, I like to say, always be offering those things. So when we're creating a compelling offer, which is an offer that creates action, right? We want to be making offers that people act on. So often where that starts is in our thinking. Like, what are we often thinking? Where a lot of women that I work with are like, well, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be pushy. But what could you be thinking instead, right? Which could you be thinking instead of how your offer could be the greatest value that the person that you're communicating with receives today, right? How are they going to be wowed and just, so delighted by this offer that you're giving them, that you're making to them, right? So, so maybe it's something that's just, they had no idea it was available to them, right? Like some really great service or really valuable piece of information or really valuable workshop, something like that. So think about next, like how many active offers are you making per day? So on a scale of 0 to 5, I think if you're like, I don't know, the ultra marathoner of making offers, you're making like 5 offers a day, which would be, offers, whether it's a free offer or sending out an email that's a sales email to your email list or posting on social media and inviting people to sign up for your free thing. Think about consistently daily making offers. And then what are your offers? Maybe just make some quick notes on what those are. And then think about what's one thing you might like to try or to add or to optimize. And, just upping your offers, maybe making 1 offer a day, I guarantee is going to drastically increase your revenue. I have tried this myself for sure. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Any questions coming up as we're turning the corner on the last couple revenue boosters today? Give me a thumbs up if you're okay, if you're still out there. All right, Rob, Lisa, thanks you guys. You're there. Is this landing? Are you tracking with me here? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. Okay. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. Okay. So mistake number 4 that I often see is that we're too focused on getting lots more new clients. We have a revenue goal and we're like, okay, my average transaction per clients last year was, I don't know, $10 a client. So if I want to make X number of dollars, I'm going to need 500 clients. And that's definitely a way to think about it. But there's another way to think about it. And we all know that it's easier to serve the clients we have than to get new ones. It's easier and it's less expensive, right? So are there opportunities for us to offer higher quality and greater value to the clients that we already have? And so this is also such a great exercise. And I'll tell you about my client, Lauren, in just a moment, but money always follows value and quality. And so this is how Amazon has grown, right? Like, love them or hate them, they are a behemoth. They're a juggernaut, right? And this is how they've grown, is by knowing what we want, right? They know that we want everything under the sun and we want it now or overnight. And they have found a way always to make that possible for us, right? And that's how they've grown. So none of us, well, at least I'm not trying to be Amazon. Maybe some of you are or not, but whether or not you're trying to become like Amazon, how could it be possible to over-deliver to your clients or your referral partners and attract more business with the people that are already your clients or your referral partners, right? And if you're unsure, so I'm going to offer a whole bunch of ideas in this section. And if you're like, I don't know if that worked, ask your clients, ask them, what they would like. I recently went through this with a client, and they're like, well, we don't know. How would we know what we could do to offer greater value? I'm like, well, let's just ask your clients. And that was just revolutionary to them, right? You don't have to ask, every single one of them all at once. Like, you can, as you're talking to them, or, you could do a poll on social media, or just make 10 phone calls and ask 10 clients. That's also an option. And people love to be asked this. Like, if anyone that you work with came to you and said, hey, listen, I really appreciate your business, and I would love to know how I can do better. What could I offer you that would be super valuable or beneficial or just delight the crap out of you, right? And they'll tell us. They will absolutely tell us. And then we get the challenge of making that happen for them, right? I wanted to tell you about the story of my client, Lauren, that she is a educational consultant. And so she helps high school students get into college. And so one thing she noticed is in her business is that the parents are often struggling. And so she decided she would create an entire guide for her parents to help them to feel like they're, doing the right things or doing all that they can for their student. And so that was something that she now offers to her clients. All it took was her, writing this guide, recording some videos, and now she offers it as an up level or an upgrade to her clients. And it's incredibly valuable for them. And so it's little things like that. She didn't have to do that, but she decided to offer that to them. So questions to consider to come up with your own ideas is, what could you offer as an add-on or an upgrade that would be super valuable and that you could charge for? So I have a realtor friend that personally delivers moving boxes to her clients that are selling their homes. And I just think that's such a really great, touch point. She gets to go and visit them at their house. She brings them their moving boxes, all the moving boxes they need. They're all brand new boxes, and she drops them off at their house. And so they have plenty of boxes to get ready to move. And it probably costs her a couple $100. She doesn't charge them for that. You could think of something that you sell as an upgrade. But it's just a great touch, and just that extra value that when I'm thinking of referring a realtor, I'm going to automatically think of her, because I think that's such a great service that she offers. Or think about, what could you cross-sell that you haven't been? So what are some other services that you provide, or that you could package with your product or service, right? For example, I have a friend here in Northern Colorado that's a financial planner. They also have a CPA in their office. So they cross-sell CPA services, and the CPA cross-sells financial planning services. And it's so great, because if you've ever been in that world at all, like, the financial planners are always trying to help you reduce your tax liability, and the CPAs are always asking you really hard questions that you should have asked your financial planner. And to have them all under one roof, I feel like is such a great value, right? So, or what additional services do you offer that people might not know about, right? For example, my CPA, I've been with her for, I don't know, a long, long time. And she never told me that she offers tax planning services, like helping me to reduce my tax liability. She just was always send me the paperwork, I'll do the filing thing. And she had never told me. And I could have hired her for that like a decade ago. So what services do you provide that your people might not know? So what's one idea that you have in this area? Okay. So mistake number 5 that I often see is that we don't effectively ask for referrals. So oftentimes people will ask for referrals by having the tagline in their email footer. But what I want to encourage you to do is really put intention and focus and communication around the idea of activating your current network. People that love you want to support you, right? So this could be your current clients, even friends and family, and referral partners. Think about who are your greatest referral partners, and think about who are your raving fans, your biggest cheerleaders. And you can make a more specific plan to incentivize referrals, like giving them a bonus or a gift card or a gift that you send them. So think about how you're activating referrals. And then I have another idea for you that has been really popular and works really well. I'm actually using it in my own business. So what's trending now among online advertisers is, instead of dumping a bunch of money into Facebook ads and paid advertising, this is another strategy you could try. So it's called the micro influencer strategy. So we all know influencers, right? I always think of like Kim Kardashian or someone like that, where, you know, they get paid $1 million to wear a pair of shoes, or I don't know. But we can do this on our own scale, much smaller scale, with influencers in our own sphere. So if you are a primarily local-based business, think about a local influencer, right? Maybe think of someone that's already a client of yours, and they, you know, are a super networker or have a big following in whatever their specialty is, and their audience would be coincide with yours. And they have an audience that's full of your potential clients. You can propose a collaboration, and you could even pay them a stipend, right, of $300 or $500 or something like that, and then create a marketing campaign together. And that it's almost like an affiliate relationship where they promote you to their network, and whoever from their network buys, you know, they get rewarded. That's kind of more of an affiliate. This would be like a where you pay them a stipend, whether it's $300 or $500, and they go out, and for 2 weeks they talk only about you and your business and why people should work with you. And I've seen this work in my own business. I'm planning a big event here in Northern Colorado, a success summit in April. And so I have 2 women that I have, what's the word? I have activated to help me to put out the word for this event. And both of them are like super networkers. They, you know, anyone that networks anywhere in Northern Colorado knows them and likes them. And so they are helping me to spread the word about my summit. And so this is something that you can use in your own business as well. So to incentivize referrals and grow that referral base. And so think about maybe if there's specific times of year that you are offering specific things, and how you could activate that. So what's one idea that comes to you for incentivizing referrals, and what have you seen work well? Feel free to share in the chat. And also love to hear what you think about the micro influencer idea. It's something that's kind of cutting edge in the online and digital marketing world. And I've seen lots of small companies use it and be very successful with it. So, okay. So I want to just wrap up as we're getting close to the end of our hour together. So just to wrap up our 5 opportunities. Number 1 is bringing new connections into your network. Always bringing new connections into your business with intention, intentionally bringing them in and connecting with them. And then number 2 is building and strengthening the relationships that are already in your network. And so when I talk about a balanced marketing plan, I talk about, when with my clients, what I teach is we always want to be having 2 or 3 simple things that are bringing in new people, and 2 or 3 simple things that we're nurturing relationships. So if we're always bringing in new people, we're always nurturing, we will always be creating business. And of course, we have to be making offers, right? So that's number 3, making more active offers. And then number 4 is to create greater quality and value. So think about what are those little upgrades or add-ons or cross-sells that maybe you think everybody knows about, but they don't, and that you can offer to your clients. And then number 5 is incentivize referrals, right? And I love this. Kamala says, I have a friend who does wellness retreats. We could figure out something together. Yes, that's a great idea. Like, how great would it be for your friend if they can offer kind of a one-stop shop? Like they book the retreat and then you call up the client and you're like, I hear you've booked a retreat with my friend. I'm happy to get your travel all set up for you. I would love that personally. I'm like just thinking how wonderful that would feel. I'd feel so well cared for, right? And that's what we want. We want our clients to feel well cared for. And so that is a great idea for a collaboration. So that's what I have for you today. I want to thank you for coming. I want you to go in this year with all the clarity that you need. And so I do have a free gift for you today. My 12 brilliant marketing topic ideas. It's a guide that is a guide of prompts to help you really develop content for social media posts, YouTube videos, anything, emails, anything where you want to really speak to your ideal client. That guide will help you to really take your marketing and your copy, your communication to the next level. And so feel free to grab that. And at the very least, I would love to keep in touch with you all and stay connected. I'm going to just pop over to the next screen. Here's all my contact information. Take a picture of this slide. Has my phone number, my website, where to find me on social, my podcast. And I also do lots of classes. So if you want to join my community and get notified of classes and appearances that I have, I'd love that too. So thank you all. What questions do we have? We have a few minutes for questions. You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This has been really fun. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What is one takeaway, one piece of action that you want to take with you today? One thing that you want to do as a result of what you learned today? I would love to hear that. Anything that you're taking away? We'll give the chat a moment. Yes, Jennifer, I love the word intention, right? I see so many entrepreneurs that go through a lot of this, meeting people, trying to sell things, and not a lot of intention around the pieces of it. So I think that's such a great takeaway. Meeting more people. Yes. Yes, Sally, build better relationships with your existing network. It's amazing. So I have a friend that is a very, very successful $1 million coach, and she hosted a meet and greet at an event. And she went to this meet and greet and she thought, well, everyone's going to know me and what I do. And she had so many people walking up to her, asking her, so tell me, what do you do? What are the offers? How do you help people? And she was just floored that a lot of people that are in her network didn't really understand what she did. So it bears as a reminder that we always have to be telling people. We feel like we're a broken record, but we all have so much coming at us all the time. Oftentimes we don't know or don't understand what people do and how they help and how we can work with them. So yeah, that's a great insight. Rob is going to find a micro influencer connection. Yes. Yeah. It's, I think it's an amazing opportunity, and just try it out. It's a great experiment. I always think of marketing as an experiment. So it's like, yeah, I'll try that. Right. And asking people to promote us. So awesome. Anybody else? What's one thing that you want to take away that could change everything for you this year, right? It's all about compounding efforts. One small change could change everything for you. Any questions also? Yeah.
Well, if you think of any questions, feel free to email Melissa directly, or if you need to send it on through us, we will forward it as well. Melissa, thank you so much. This was awesome content. I really appreciate you joining us today and helping us kick off this series.
I'm so glad to be here. Yeah, and yeah, happy to be here. It's been really fun.
Awesome. Well, everyone, I did just put a link in the chat. Please provide your feedback on that form about today's event and this series in general. Coming up in February, we have our first supplier meetup of the year with Club Med. There will be a prize drawing for those who stay through the end. And we've got a bunch of other great web events coming up, and several of them are already posted on RockyMountainAsta.org. As always, if there's anything that your Rocky Mountain ASTA executive board can do to help you excel in your business, like connect you with awesome people like Melissa, never hesitate to reach out. And thank you all for joining us today. And thank you again, Melissa.
Thank you. It's great to meet all of you and see you, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you all. And thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.